So welcome back to South Padre Island with me, Andy Hancock. We are the sandcastle capital of the world because we don't do boring. It's really simple. So anyway, here you see how to test your sand. That's what this video is about. And you can see me rotating my little 2-gallon bucket. And what we like to do with this is we don't need a shovel to test sand. Today's video is about testing the sand, or your sand. And you spray the bucket first. Very simple procedure this. You don't need to go and waste your time on a beach for hours to find out your sand is no good. So we've decided to show you exactly how to do this. So use the little bucket as a scraper and scrape down the fairly loose sand on the top and get down to the hard stuff. It's called anoxic sand. It means no oxygen and it's very hard. It is on Padre anyway. And then use the sand you scooped up and just push it back in the bucket. Very simple. You don't need a shovel or anything. And put your hand down the center and add some water, which is very simple. This is the same procedure for every single bucket you fill. Doesn't matter whether it's a trash can or this thing. So then put your hand in the middle and squidge it about. Nothing like a good squidge. And then give the bucket a bit of a shake. And it makes the water travel down to the bottom and aids compaction and granulation. You can look those up. And then add more water and add sand to water. That's another vital point. Always sand to the water. You never let the sand come out the top of the water. Give it a shape and scrape up all the loose sand you've just cut off the beach. And then plenty of sand, and then tap it down at the sides. Boom, until the water appears through the top. You get it nice and level, and away you go. Now a lot of people ask me, when is it time to take the bucket off, Andy? And they try to pull it off when the water is still at the surface. Wrong. You don't do that. You wait until the water drains away. But wait for it. When you tap the bucket again, the water comes back to the surface. That's called liquefaction. It's what happens in earthquakes. You can look that up as well. And then you keep tapping the bucket sporadically. It doesn't take long, a minute, until the water does not return to the surface, and that means it's safe to take your bucket off. And you can test it with your finger. Stick your finger in there nice and hard, and then just clear the bottom of the bucket rim. Be careful. And just lift it straight off. Boom. So that's why you use lube on the bucket. And then you get the small sand shaper we sell obviously online at sandcastlelessons.com, starting in the center of the block, right in the middle, and you push down firmly and then you rotate it while it's cutting its surface. So you leave it on the surface of the ball. Don't scrape it or dig with it. You just rotate it and then keep the pressure firmly on and roll it to the front of the ball and then take it off. Back to the center, back to the middle again at the top, and then roll down. So work from the top down, very easy, top down. And what we found was that if you use it in one direction, you make perfect spheres. If you don't and drag the tool back, you can end up with a coconut. And not a good thing on the beach really, coconuts, unless you've got a drink to put in them. Anyway, so then you do that and you get it nice and smooth. Then you put your thumb in the middle of the tool and use it as a scoop, like a little shovel, and drag the sand away from underneath the ball, not on it, underneath it. So then with the bucket in the way in the video, that wasn't very handy, you take it back to the top and you just repeat the process one little bit more to make sure you clear as much from the ball as you can. Do not lift the ball up. Use your scraper and pull all the loose sand towards you. You can see I've got it up in here. And finally I get the idea and move the bucket. But then you use the tool and you just cut underneath the ball and roll it onto the soft sand, and that ensures it won't break. And then because if you lift the ball, it'll just break. So there you can see you've got a perfect sphere. Now if you can get to this stage, your sand is good to go. I mean, that's it, literally. But one of the things we like to do is that we were summoned by our masters and who were very concerned about the lack of used Death Stars in the galaxy. So what we do is try and make a stock. We're trying to build up the stock of used Death Stars for the Sith Lords so they can take over the universe. So it's a very simple process really, and sizes and everything. So there you go. That's how you test your sand. Make a little Death Star. 4 minutes, test your sand, go to the beach, have some fun. Why? Because we don't do boring.